Yeah, yeah.
This is a dedication. A little inspiration.
Yeah, yeah. One day, when the war is won, victory will be yours.
Victory's gonna be ours.
It'll be yours. One day, when the kingdom comes, it'll be yours. It'll be yours. It's a long way up.
It's a long way up.
And a short way down. Just don't let nobody come and take your crown.
Let 'em take your crown.
Trying to make it through the system, but the doors are locked. The Most High got you covered. You're gonna rise to the
We're
top.
gonna rise, y'all.
This battle will bring victory on with the greatest book in history. Check up your grade, it's no mystery. Yeah, yeah. You know this battle has just begun.
Battle's just
Check up,
begun.
you're hated by everyone.
All
But
nations
just remember
hate us.
you're the chosen son. Yeah, yeah.
This song is such an inspiration. We get the kingdom though there's much tribulation. Every day I send my prayers up. I even read where Yahweh said he'd raise us up. He gave Abraham the covenants. On the shoulders of Christ will rest the governments. The forces the nations gotta bring to me. The world is ours, our gates open continually. Praise Yahweh cause he gave us life, and sacrifice the reward as you could reign with Christ. Yeah, it's true, the Father made us sons to get a crown, then endure until the Savior comes. In the sight of God, no man is justified. To be approved, I read that gold must be tried. In the end, we're the greatest folks in history. Malachi sing to them about our victory.
This battle will bring victory.
We gonna get the
On
victory.
the greatest book in history.
Bible's the
Check up your
greatest
grade,
book.
it's no mystery. Yeah, yeah. You know this battle has just begun.
Battle has
Check
just
up, you're
begun.
hated by everyone. But just remember you're the chosen son. Yeah, yeah.
We give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, for giving Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob the covenants, and for choosing our nation. We appreciate that. Hope the song inspired you. Yeah. What's going on? What's going on, Israel? What's going on? Welcome to another week. Lives of Israel. This is a special presentation from Sister Malika of the Lions of Israel concerning issues that's going on with our nation, brothers and sisters. We think this stuff is important. A lot of Israelites don't take this stuff as seriously as they should, but we come forward no matter who's here to bring forth this information so that way later on people can't say that nobody tried to help, nobody cared, nobody told them. So we come forward every week as much as we can to try to bring you brothers and sisters information. All right, so shout out to everybody that's watching. Everybody has to be a mute until I say it's from mute. So once again, shout out to everybody that's watching us on YouTube, on our YouTube channels. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, leave a comment. For you guys on Clubhouse, there's a link at the top of the room. I want you guys to come over. This is a PowerPoint presentation. It's very, very important. Very important. There's probably somebody that you know that needs this information. Make sure you share it with your loved ones, your co-workers, your friends, your family. so forth and so on. Make sure you share it with these brothers and sisters as much as possible. Guys, today we're talking about autoimmune diseases. I want to share my screen real quick. Before I turn it over to Sister Malika, I want to share my screen real quick. And I want to show you guys something, if I could. I want to show you guys about autoimmune diseases, right? And I want you guys to first and foremost, I want to make sure you guys are able to hear me. If you guys are able to hear me, put one in the chat. I'm going to come out for 1 second. I'm going to stop sharing for 1 second. If you guys are able to hear me, put one in the chat. Make sure everything is good. Hopefully everything is good with the live. My apologies if everything is not. Okay. All right. So I'm going to share my screen one more time real quick. And then we're going to pass it over to Sister Malika. I'm going to share my screen real quick. Sorry. These are the top autoimmune diseases, which all of us know people that suffer from these things. Lupus. There's a lot of your friends and family members that suffer from lupus. There's people that you know, and they think that it's like a lifelong thing where they can't treat it or deal with it other than the medicines the doctors give them. That's not true. Rheumatoid arthritis. Psoriasis, which is basically the brother to eczema. Psoriatic arthritis, so forth and so on. We all know people that suffer from at least 4 out of the 5 of these, which are autoimmune diseases. And the doctors tell you there's really nothing you can do except be chained to medicine for the rest of your life. If you're a man, a lot of you brothers, lupus, multiple sclerosis, inflammatory bowel disease, etc., etc. There's a lot of things that fall under this so-called autoimmune disease list that are actually treatable, but you have to be actually plugged in to know exactly what to do to treat it. So with that being said, I want to give a test. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen right now. 1 second. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And then Sister Malika, I muted you, but you can unmute in 1 second. I'm going to unmute you, Sister Malika. Just say shalom. Let's see if we can hear you. You're not able to unmute. She muted herself. So, Sister Malika, can you unmute?
Are you guys able to hear me?
Yes.
I'm sorry about that.
Yes. You're good to go.
Okay.
So go
The only problem is I'm not able to hear you from my end on the computer.
That's fine. Just go ahead. Just go ahead. You're good to go.
Okay. All right. All right. I am going to. Okay. I'm going to share my screen. Yeah, I'm not able to hear. Give me a second, guys. Yeah, I can't hear you. All right. Let's get on with it. Okay, so hopefully you guys are able to see my screen. And the topic today is, as Priest Daniela said, autoimmune diseases, but I'm also going to touch on cancer as well. Okay, the C word that everyone is afraid of, and social media don't want you to discuss on their platform because they'll ban your videos and kick you off of social media if you ever talk about this topic. But the message must go on, right? So we're going to discuss the topics today. Okay, so I'm going to share some videos. We're going to start off with one topic. Before I get to the main topic at hand, I'd like to stress to everyone who's watching, also, please, if you can share this live, because this is very important. I understand that this is one of the most boring topic in our community. Nobody wants to hear anything about health and wellness because it means that we have to make changes, and nobody wants to make changes until they get the diagnosis and they, become scared and start panicking, you know, uh, reactive instead of being proactive, right? But we are going to keep drilling these things in your brain until I don't know. All right. So I want to stress to the brothers and sisters who are watching, if you do not have cancer, if you do have cancer, if you are a man, if you are a woman, young or old, if you identify as a Tasmanian devil, it doesn't matter. Okay. You need to do a parasite cleanse often to reduce the risk of parasitic infection in your body. Okay. I'm going to get into it. If you are currently dealing with cancer, or you was diagnosed with any cancer, because I know somebody's going to ask me what type of cancer. Any cancer in your body, okay? All cancer in the body is waste in the human body. Waste. If you have cancer in the body, it doesn't belong in there. It is waste. It needs to come out, right? If you are diagnosed with any cancer, it doesn't matter where in the body it is imperative that you do a parasitic cleanse, a parasite cleanse, okay? Ever so often. If you're living with cancer, even if the doctor says you're cancer free, you underwent some type of chemotherapy and you now are cancer free and you celebrated with your family and blah blah blah, you went on a cruise and you start drinking and partying again, blah blah blah, okay? Yeah, you need to do a parasite cleanse, because I'm gonna tell you guys something. When you have been diagnosed with cancer and then you went through the whole chemotherapy and they tell you you're cancer free, and 9 times out of 10, a lot of people go right back to the lifestyle that they were living before they were diagnosed. Okay. And I'm going to tell you something. That cancer will come back. May not come back immediately after. May not be tomorrow or next week or next month or next year, but it will come back if you continue the same lifestyle. And when it does, it is going to come back with a vengeance, and it will begin to spread. Okay. That's happening to somebody in my family right now as I speak. Had it before, they were given a clean bill of health according to them. And many years later, this cancer is back with a vengeance, and it is now spreading to the gut and everywhere else. Okay. And of course, I don't believe in anything that I do. A lot of cancer in the body is a result of parasite. Let me say that again. A lot of cancer in the body is a result of parasite. I've been saying this for a long time, but if you don't believe me, a lot of people don't believe when we say stuff, but when Esau say it, so we'll let Esau say it. There we go. Let's Esau say it. Sorry, guys. Are you guys able to hear what's going on? Okay, so the video is not playing for some reason. Why is it not playing? Give me a second, guys. Don't know why video is not playing. No, it's not playing. Hang on, guys. Okay, let's try this again. Let's try this again. You know, as Priest Danny always say, we build it while we fly it, right?
All
right, there we go. All right. Sorry about that, guys. We had a little bit of a mute sound situation here. All right. So let's start from the beginning. So the doctor here, Dr. Lee, is going to explain the correlation between parasites and cancer. All right. So let's go.
That's come out in all this is that we've been ignoring the issue of parasites and cancer. The NIH is not, because they've got 1 million studies on ivermectin and cancer. But doctors all over the world now are showing videos, and there was a German research project years ago in the 90s, I think, showing cancer was parasites, intracellular parasites. Right. If you look at a cancer metastasis, like or an adenocarcinoma of the bowel, for example, or breast cancer under the light microscope, it's essentially indistinguishable from these parasite egg sacs. Now, Brian Ardis, who's a chiropractor but very interested and very good researcher on this stuff, he said he has a friend who's a 40-year Egyptian parasitologist, and he asked him, and he pointed this out to him. He said, "Hey, I've been looking at this cancer and versus the parasite egg sacs, and they look identical under the microscope." And this guy got real wide-eyed and said, "In 40 years in parasitology, not one oncologist has made that association, but we talk about it all the time in parasitology circles." I translate as saying, they know that cancer is parasites. They're not speaking because they don't want to lose their funding.
All right. Well, there you have it. Okay.
Another dirty little secret that's come.
Sorry about that, guys. All right. So, in the next video, there's a patient in this video with that was diagnosed with HIV, but he's also was found with parasites in his stool and in his body. So I'm going to explain to you guys what's going on in the video, because it's a lot of medical jargon. I'm not sure if we have any medical doctor or nurses that are watching. You may understand what they're saying. All right.
A 41-year-old man in Colombia with HIV infection presented with fatigue, fever, cough, and weight loss. He had been non-adherent to therapy with a recent CD4 count of 28 cells per cubic millimeter and a viral load of 70,000 copies per milliliter. Stool exam.
So the CD4 count is referring to the guy's white blood cells. Okay, they're extremely low because he's dealing with an immune deficient illness. All right.
Examination revealed Hymenelepis nana, or dwarf tapeworm, eggs.
Okay, I'm trying to explain what's being said here because they're using medical terms. So the Hymenelepis nana egg is pretty much, they're saying, parasitic egg. It's parasite eggs. Okay, I'm gonna go back a little bit again. So he's talking about the parasites and the eggs. Okay, there we go.
A 41-year-old man in Colombia with HIV infection presented with fatigue, fever, cough, and weight loss. He had been non-adherent to therapy with a a recent CD4 count of 28 cells per cubic millimeter and a viral load of 70,000 copies per milliliter. Stool examination revealed Hymenopleus nana, or dwarf tapeworm, eggs. The patient received 3 doses of
So they found tapeworm eggs in his stool.
albendazole, and antiretroviral medications were reinstated. CT imaging showed lung, liver, and adrenal nodules of up to 4.4 centimeters, as well as cervical, mediastinal, and abdominal lymphadenopathy. Both lymph node excisional and lung cord needle biopsies showed nests of undifferentiated cells. The cells were characteristic of cancer, but they appeared to be of non-human origin. PCR targeting eukaryotes identified Hymenopleus nana DNA. Although they were unrecognizable as tapeworm tissue, tapeworm immunohistochemistry and probe hybridization labeled the cells in situ. Comparative deep sequencing identified H. nana structural genomic variants that were compatible with mutations described in cancer. The proliferative cells had overt features of malignancy. They invaded
All right, guys,
adjacent
so
tissue,
you get the
had a
point.
crowded
You get the point. Melanoma in situ is referring to the early stages of melanoma. Okay. All right, let's move on to something else. All right, so we're going to play this video here.
The majority of cancers are actually parasite infections. As cancerous tumors,
And let's start over.
The majority of cancers are actually parasite infections. Misdiagnosed as cancerous tumors, masses, cysts, etc. So if you have uterine fibroids, ovarian...
I want you ladies to listen, for those of you with uterine fibroids and ovarian cysts, okay?
masses, cysts, etc. So if you have uterine fibroids, ovarian cysts, you have the thyroid goiters, you have liver masses, lung lesions, or masses, and you've been told that they're cancerous, or you have breast nodules, 80% of the time there's a parasite egg sac. Not cancer or anything, but in America they get zero education in parasitology, and they're told that parasites don't exist in America. However, the CDC says it's very common.
So this doctor here is saying in this country, they're downplaying the fact that there is parasitic infection that are infecting people here.
Common to get parasites in America. It's very odd that medical schools don't teach that, and that's the truth. Parasites are the leading cause of cancer in America. And there's another cause, the second cause. They've known since 1956 that is venom, snake venom. It causes cancer. Turbo cancer is what they call it. And then these two scientists who figured it out were paid by the American Cancer Association to figure it out, and were awarded the Nobel Prize in Medicine for figuring out how to make cancer very quickly with venom.
You guys heard that.
You have parasites or you have venom. By the way, the venom-based cancers are dissolved with nicotine, even brain tumors, and that's why nicotine is the other N word. And it does make a lot of people uncomfortable. And the government made sure of that.
All right. So, unbelievable. I'm not sure if you guys were able to hear that. But sometimes, ladies, your uterine fibroids are parasite related. Okay. This is why, for those of you who have been doing who have ever done the fibroid cleanse that we have on Grasser Botanicals, y'all know that there's a parasite cleanse that's included with that protocol. Okay, there's a reason we include a parasite cleanse in the fibroid protocol. Okay, yes, because we understand that these things are oftentimes parasite related. Okay, let's move on.
The majority of cancers.
All right. Could hidden parasite be fueling cancer in your body?
Could hidden parasites be fueling cancer in your body today? Today, we are going to deep dive into a very often overlooked but critical health concern, the link between parasites and cancer. I know this topic is super icky, but it is really important because recent studies reveal compelling evidence that certain parasites may play a role in triggering or accelerating cancer development by creating inflammation, weakened immunity, and disrupting cellular health. In particular, parasitic infections are associated with these cancers: brain cancer, colon cancer, assorted lymphomas, bladder cancer, lung cancer, adenocarcinomas. These are cancers that originate in the mucus glands of an organ like the lung, the stomach, the colon, the pancreas, and even the breast. Gastrointestinal cancer, uterine cancers, leukemia, bile duct cancer. And I'm even going to share with you a particular overwhelming virus that I've talked a lot about here on our channel.
All right, I think you guys get the point, but hopefully y'all saw that, right? Okay, so those are some types of cancer that are caused by parasites. Okay,
Could hit.
So why do we need a parasite cleanse? Because somebody is going to ask, what do we do about this? If you have parasite in the system, we need to do a parasite cleanse. We need to do parasite cleanse. We need to cleanse the body. And how do we do that? Well, we have to first eliminate the garbage that's going into our system, because those garbage attracts parasites. Yes, they do. Parasites are things that are attracted to waste in our body. If your body is clean, there won't be no parasites. A parasite cleanse using natural anti-parasitic herbs supports your body's overall health by targeting a harmful organism that disrupt normal digestive and immune function. Okay, a parasite cleanse give your body the opportunity to eliminate wastes. Many parasite herbs contains compounds that helps to expel parasites while also promoting detoxification, allowing the body to release accumulated toxins and metabolic waste. By cleansing the digestive system and cells, these herbs helps to improve nutrition absorption, because when you have parasites in your body, it inhibits the absorption of nutrients. Whenever you eat your food, your fruits, your vegetables, or you're taking certain supplements, it's hard for your body to absorb those nutrients because you have something that is sucking you dry inside your body, which is the parasites, because they're inhibiting that. Okay, so by cleansing the digestive system, the herbs helps with liver support. It helps with colon health. It reduces bloating. A lot of our people are walking around with just bloated. It helps to with inflammation and fatigue. It strengthens the body's natural defense. A thorough cleanse not only eliminate parasites and restore internal balance, but it also promotes energy, mental clarity, and long-term wellness. These are some of the benefits of doing a parasite cleanse. If you have stuff in the body that needs to come out, these are the herbs that the Most High gave us to use to clean our system with. It's like, when you're cleaning out your house, when you're cleaning out your toilet, when you're cleaning out something, you know what I mean? You're scrubbing it clean. These herbs are there to detoxify and clean out your system, help the cells to become healthy again, clean up the organ, detoxifies the organ, clean up the bloodstream. That's what they do. All right, we're going to move on to the main topic at hand here, and this is autoimmune diseases. All right, this is the main topic that we're going to discuss today. I just wanted to go over, that issue with cancer in our community, and let the sisters and brothers know that if you are dealing with cancer, or if you were diagnosed in the past with cancer, you must do parasite cleanse. That's very important. Okay, so I became curious about the statistics of autoimmune disease in places like Africa and the Caribbean island compared to the United States. Okay, and I decided to do a virtual island hopping on my computer. And according to my research, 2% or less of Jamaicans in Jamaica are living with autoimmune diseases. And the main autoimmune disease that they're dealing with is rheumatoid arthritis. So that's just the main one. It's not, not the bad ones. Okay. In Trinidad and Tobago, there's less than 1% of the population living with an autoimmune disease, less than 1%. In Grenada, it's less than 1%. In Barbados, it's less than 1%. Now, some of the islands did not have a statistic. They didn't have any documented statistics, so I wasn't able to gather those information. But so these are not I didn't just get these things out of thin air. I did a lot of research to see what's going on in other countries in terms of the autoimmune illnesses that people are dealing with here in the United States. I wanted to compare it to what's going on in other places, right? Now, what was surprising to me is that Puerto Rico is 4.5% of the population is dealing with autoimmune disease, and most of it is lupus. Most of the people there are struggling with lupus, and I'm just guessing here that it's probably because Puerto Rico is a United States territory. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Okay. Now, the United States of America, their statistics as far as people who are struggling with lupus is 8%. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but that is a lot. 8% of Americans are living with an autoimmune disease, and the numbers are increasing rapidly. Okay? All right. Now, the question is, what are autoimmune diseases? That's the question. Let me tell y'all something. The medical system is extremely evasive when it comes to answering this question. They're very evasive. They talk around, they go around the bush, they say all type of nonsense to try and confuse you. They just beat around the bush and go around in circles. Nobody can answer what autoimmune disease is in the medical system for fear of being, fired or less funded and whatever, right? Okay. Well, Sister Malika is here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I will prove to you all, and I'm going to repeat it again, all autoimmune diseases. And I really hate to call it diseases. I really don't like to call it diseases. I just like to say the word illnesses. But all autoimmune illnesses comes from lifestyle choices that creates chronic inflammation. I want you to pay attention to that word, inflammation in the human body. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to show you guys a list of the most common autoimmune illnesses in the United States. Okay, the first one I have here is something called Addison disease. And I want you to pay close attention to what I'm reading to you here. The first one here is called Addison disease. What is Addison disease? Well, Addison disease is inflammation of the adrenal glands. Inflammation of the adrenal glands. Okay. The second one is celiac disease. And what is celiac disease? Inflammation of the small intestine. Then we have Crohn's disease. What is Crohn's disease? Crohn's disease is an inflammatory bowel disease that causes what? Chronic inflammation in the digestive tract. Then we have I'm sorry, this one is a tongue twister, guys. Dermatomyositis. Let me say that slowly. Dermatomyositis. There we go. Now, when you see the word derma is dealing with the skin, and the word myo is dealing with muscles, and the word itis is dealing with inflammation. Okay. So the illness itself is in the name, So it's inflammation of the skin and the muscle. All right. Then we have grave disease. Boy, I tell you, the white man come up with all type of name for these things, boy. Grave disease is inflammation. I hope you guys are paying attention. Inflammation of the thyroid glands, okay? And this is what you call hyper or overactive thyroid. If you're watching and you're dealing with overactive thyroid, or what they call hyperthyroidism, you are dealing with grave disease, okay? And the other one is Hashimoto thyroiditis. And this one is, what is it again? Chronic inflammation of the thyroid gland. And this one is the underactive thyroid, or what is called hypothyroidism. You know, when you deal with overactive and hyperactive, right? Hyper mean overactive, and hypo mean underactive. Okay. IBD, which is inflammatory bowel disease, is inflammation of the digestive tracts, which include Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis, which is inflammation of the colon. All right. And then we have multiple sclerosis. It's in the name. It's right there in the name. Multiple sclerosis. And this is inflammation of the nerves, the spinal cord, and the brain. Okay. And then you have this one here called myasthenia gravis. And what is this one? Inflammation of the neuromuscular junction. All right, let's continue. This one here is called pernicious anemia. And I'm going to explain what this one is. It's inflammation of the cells in the stomach. And what this is the immune system attacks a cell in the stomach that are needed to absorb vitamin B12. So people that are deficient in vitamin B12, or, you know, some other nutrients, right? Sometimes when your body is deficient and you keep taking these minerals and the body is not absorbing them, right? Something is causing an issue in the gut, which is why your body is not able to absorb certain nutrients. And a lot of the times it's parasites in the gut. It's taking everything that you're eating. It's sucking it up, sucking you dry. And so your body is not able to absorb any nutrients, right? So this is what they call inflammation of the cells, where your body is not able to absorb B12. Here's another one, psoriasis, inflammation on the skin. Hopefully you guys realize that every single one of these have something in common here, okay? Rheumatoid arthritis, a chronic inflammation of the joints. Scleroderma, it's right there in the name. Again, it's right there in the name where we're dealing with derma. It's talking about the skin, inflammation of the skin, right? Now, this one is very new to me. This one was very new to me. I'm not going to lie. Sjögren syndrome. I hope I'm saying that right, because I've never heard of this one before. Sjögren syndrome. And this one is inflammation in the glands that makes the moisture that produce the moisture in your eyes and your mouth. Okay. So that's what that is. Type 1 diabetes is also considered to be a autoimmune disease, and that is inflammation of the pancreas. Okay? All right. Let's continue. Now, here's a big one. A lot of you guys are familiar with this one. Lupus. Lupus. Boy, I tell you, our people embrace this sickness right here, boy. A lot of our women embrace this sickness. It's like a badge of honor. Unfortunately. Lupus. What is lupus? Lupus is inflammation. I cannot say that. I cannot stress that. Inflammation of many parts of the human body. It includes the skin, the joints, the heart, the lung, the kidneys, the brain, and so on and so forth. Okay. So multiple parts of your bodies are dealing if your body you're pretty much, your body is just inflamed. You're dealing with inflammation all over your body. Okay. Now, some of these issues with lupus are parasite infections. And a lot of our sisters that are dealing, by the way, I'm going to get into who in the United States are dealing with lupus the most. Okay. Okay. A lot of our sisters that are dealing with lupus has been completely indoctrinated by the system. They 100% depend on the pharmaceutical drugs to cure their illnesses while they keep going in and out of the emergency room and their doctor's offices, right? They do not believe in anything natural. They don't comprehend that they need to start addressing the need for natural healing. And yes, parasites. I want you guys to listen to me carefully. Parasites can be passed down from a mother to an unborn child. If you don't believe me, take a look for yourself. Hold on. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me start it over. I'm not sure if you guys are able to hear that. The volume is all the way up. I'm not sure why this is not I'm sorry, guys. Let me see what's happening here. My volume is all the way up. Let me start over again. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm not able to yeah, I think it's just a video.
Rates can show some things that were concerning, including tiny calcifications scattered throughout the brain, swelling, and fluid buildup. Based on the pattern of imaging, the team had a hunch on what it could be, and the tests came back and confirmed that it was.
I'm going to explain to you what the video is saying. The gentleman here, he's a doctor, and he's pretty much telling us that mothers who contract, parasites are able to pass down that parasites to their unborn child. Okay. And there's a common parasite that's called toxoplasmosis, and it is a parasite that's common in house cats. Okay. And that parasite can be cause an infection and be passed down to that unborn child, especially if that mother have the cat in the house and she's messing with the cat litter and all of this stuff. Yes, you can pass on parasite if she get infected by that parasite can be passed down to that child, and the child can be born with a lot of medical problems. So that's what the gentleman here is saying. I'm sorry that you guys weren't able to hear the video here. So the question I wanted to ask you guys here, do you guys see what all of these so-called autoimmune diseases have in common? Every single one of them is dealing with inflammation somewhere in the body. Okay, so autoimmune diseases are pretty much inflammation in different parts of your body. It's the same exact illness, just affecting different part of the human body. Okay. All right. So approximately 10% of the global population in Europe live with an autoimmune disease. About 2.4% of Africans are estimated to have autoimmune diseases. About 3.5% of Chinese people living in China are living with an autoimmune disease. So you can see the numbers. So far, we know that Europe and America have the highest rate of dealing with autoimmune disease. America and Europe. Okay. So here's a question. Why does Europe and America have such higher rates of autoimmune diseases? Okay. So, well, here are a few reasons. People are too busy being fancy. They don't want to get their feet dirty. The thought of sweating is repulsive to a lot of people. Everyone wants to live in this pristine, clean paradise that they call, America, right? Or Europe, right? In wealthier countries like Europe and America, and in large cities such as New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Houston, Phoenix, so on and so forth, a lot of people are not exposed to nature like that. And a lot of our people, so-called Black folks, are not spending a lot of time in nature, fishing, camping, hiking, walking around bare feet, right? You grew up in large cities with lots of apartment buildings and so on and so forth. So what this means, ladies and gentlemen, is that your bodies are not exposed to the microbes and parasites and infection found in nature, which means that your immune system does not get trained by nature earlier on in life, like children who grew up on farms and rural in rural areas and so on and so forth, right? Children raised on farms or spend lots of time in nature often have lower rates of autoimmune and allergy diseases. Let me say that again. Children that are raised in these environments, like on farms and outdoors, they spend a lot of time outdoor fishing, hiking, whatever. They have a lower rate of autoimmune diseases because their bodies are trained by nature. So if you're wondering why people in the Caribbean and African countries and so on and so forth walk around bare feet all day, every day, they may not have pretty feet, but they don't have a lot of autoimmune diseases. All right. Diets high in processed foods, junk foods, fast foods, sugar, packaged food, canned foods, red meat are strongly linked to inflammation in the body. Do you guys really want me to repeat that? I know y'all heard me. Ultra processed foods can damage the lining of your gut, which is why a lot of people have something called leaky gut. When you consume, this is why a lot of people also have, what appears to be eczema on their skin since they were a child, because a lot of our people was raised since childhood on ultra processed food. Everything has to come from the packaging and the canned and the boxes, nothing from the fresh produce aisle, right? And that will eventually damage the lining of your gut. And that will trigger an autoimmune reaction. And that's why you're getting symptoms of eczema and so on and so forth. People of also people of European descent have higher genetic predisposition for certain autoimmune diseases, and we all know why that is. Okay, baby formulas instead of breast milk, that can also trigger autoimmune reaction and autoimmune diseases in babies or people from a younger age, from a earlier stage in life. Okay, and also medication. Lots of medication. You have diabetes, you have this and that and everything you want to go to the doctor and just be taking all these medication for high blood pressure and diabetes and this and that. Everything, you just want to swallow these medication. You don't want to do anything natural to get rid of it. Okay, these medications are also messing up the immune system and triggering autoimmune diseases. I mean, also, outside sources like pollution, pesticides. These are things that we really cannot avoid. You know what I mean? Heavy metal. Okay. We all live in a higher industrialized region. Okay. These things also increase the risk of autoimmune diseases. These are things that we really cannot avoid. But that's why I strongly encourage the regular detoxing, so that way our bodies don't hold on to the the toxins that comes into our bodies on a regular basis from the pollution and the pesticides and all of this stuff. That's what cleansing is for. Cleansing helps the body to release some of these things that are coming in the bodies on a regular basis. Okay. Europe and North America have less sunlight, leading to widespread vitamin D deficiency. Vitamin D is crucial for regulating the immune system. Low vitamin D levels contributes to autoimmune disease. Black folks, our bodies need the sun. And I'm gonna offend somebody, but some of us don't want to spend time in the sun because we don't want to become darker, because we hate ourselves. We hate our dark skin, so we try to avoid the sun. We don't want to get darker. Well, stay over there with your sickness, because the sun is needed to build the immune system. Why does Europe and North America have higher rates of autoimmune disease? Okay, another reason is people in places like African countries and the Caribbean have access to lots of sunlight, like I said, and fresh foods and plant foods that grows from the soil, right? A lot of people in certain African countries and the Caribbean, that's all they have access to, really. A lot of them don't have access to processed food from the stores because, a lot of people in these places don't have the money like that to afford these things. So they have to rely on the foods that are growing on their properties or in the wild. I'm speaking from personal experience here. My grandparents didn't have a lot of money, but they have lots of land, and we rely on our farm for most of our food. And so in a lot of these places, when you see the rates of autoimmune diseases that are lower, it's because people are not really consuming a lot of the, like the diet that we're consuming here in the United States. Mostly probably because they don't have the money, or that's just what they're used to. It's just what we grew up on. The Africans are hunter-gatherer. That's what we call hunter-gatherer, right? They go into the bushes for their meat. That's why there's such a thing called bush meat. That's a part of their diet. Monkey and all that stuff. But anyway, they go into the bushes and they, and the back of their properties, and they get foods like yams and bananas and potatoes and, mangoes and whatever, right? So the point I'm trying to make here is that autoimmune diseases are not some mysterious diseases, guys. They are lifestyle diseases. Otherwise, everybody around the world would be, it would be plaguing everybody. You could see the different lifestyle in different countries and different continents. The statistics are lower, right? They are lifestyle diseases. These diseases are caused by your lifestyle and the environment you live in. About 80% of all autoimmune disease patients are women worldwide. That's the statistics based on my research. We're talking worldwide. About 80% of all autoimmune diseases affect women. Excuse me. According to my research, Black folks in America are more susceptible to certain autoimmune diseases, especially lupus, MS, and sarcoidosis. And they often experience more severe outcome due to poor diet, poor environment, vitamin D deficiency, not getting enough sun, and less access to proper health care. Here it comes. Here it comes. Black women are far more affected by autoimmune diseases than Black men. I don't really hear a lot of Black men with autoimmune diseases. I don't think I've ever met a brother with autoimmune disease, maybe one or two. Black women are disproportionately affected and are at the highest risk of developing autoimmune diseases, especially lupus, multiple sclerosis, sarcoidosis, and rheumatoid arthritis. And the question is why? Well, I'm going to give you my personal opinion, but that doesn't count, I guess. It doesn't matter, right? But I personally believe it has something to do with vaccination given to girls at birth. Okay? And the fact that our bodies do not respond to illnesses the same as other so-called races. Okay? That's just my personal belief. I think a lot of it has to do with vaccination. And then on top of that, your diet is terrible. And then the stress living in this country alone among, okay, you guys know where I'm going with that, right? Okay. Studies show that Black women in the US experience higher wear and tear on the body from stress, which worsen autoimmune illnesses. So, I wanted to throw this in there, sisters. For the sisters who are Miss Independent, you don't need a man. You better get you a man to deal with the, help you carry the load so you're not so stressed. I'm just saying. Can't do this all by yourself, sis, because all this stress and you're at the top of the list because you want to be everything, superwoman, and you getting the bag and all this stuff. Yes, stress is killing our sisters. All right, there we go. Here's an example of one of our sisters that are dealing with lupus, which is one of the leading autoimmune illness in the United States and among Black women. Lupus. Look at her skin. Terrible. And a lot of these women are on medication because they don't believe in natural healing. Here are some causes of chronic inflammation. Okay, so we're going to look at some things that may cause chronic inflammation in the human body. The body has too much fat cells and abnormal cells. And we know what caused that, right? Okay. A lot of people are infected with parasites. Too much toxins in the human body. And you're not cleansing, you're not detoxing, you're not doing anything to get rid of the toxins. Chronic stress leads to hormonal imbalance. It messes up your hormones. It messes up your endocrine system. This is why you're dealing with the polycystic ovarian syndrome and the thyroid, the hyperactive thyroid and the underactive thyroid. This is all dealing with the hormonal system in the body. Too much heavy metal from the foods you're eating. And again, a lack of cleansing the body. Mold, microtoxins. A lot of us are living with mold in the house. These are some of the things that cause chronic inflammation. And the inflammation causes the immune system to act up. Okay? There you go. I hope I was able to break that down for y'all. How do we fix this problem? That's the question. How do we fix this problem? Well, I've always said the Most High have always given us choices. Unfortunately, we have always made the wrong choices, right? Yeah, we wouldn't be Israel if we didn't. Here are some choices that we have. Here are some choices that we have. We can choose not to consume ultra-processed junk food and fast food. That is a choice, We can choose not to do that. We can choose to spend our grocery money on foods that grows from the soil. That is a choice. And we can choose to cook them, right? Instead of, okay, there you go. We can choose not to feed our babies fast foods, junk foods, and dairy products and all of this stuff. That is a choice that we can make for our children. We can choose to take our families. Here's a good one. Sorry, guys. We can choose to take our families, get on a bus, get in the car, get on a train, and go fishing and hiking and camping. Everybody else do it. We can choose to do that. We can choose to buy our foods from the fresh produce aisle at the grocery store instead of the fast food place. Or we can go to the local farmer's market. That's a better choice. We can choose not to go to McDonald's and Burger King and the other fast food places and feed them to our babies. Right? We can choose to take at least 30 minutes out of our day and exercise. That's a choice. Trust me, that's a choice. We have 30 minutes. 30 minutes. There's 24 hours in a day. You can take 30 minutes and go for a walk. We can choose to drink more water instead of sodas, alcohol, and sweet sugary juices. These are all choices that we can make. I don't know if my husband want to say something. Priest Daniela, would you like to say something before I move on? All right, so we begin to fix autoimmune illnesses by cleaning up the gut. That's the first step. Cleaning up the gut. Your liver is one of the pathways to eliminating toxins from the body. Okay, we need to start by doing a flush of the digestive system, which includes your liver. Liver health. I want you guys to listen to me carefully. Good liver health is extremely important. I've been beating the drum for years. You need to constantly take care of your liver. You need good liver health. Your liver is one of the main organs that eliminate toxins from your body. And when you have a lot of toxins in the body, you begin to have a lot of problem everywhere. Everywhere you're going to have problems on the skin, in the bloodstream. I mean, just pretty much everywhere. And we need to take something natural to support good liver health. You can choose to put some bitters in your body. When you put things like these in the body, it's hard. It's difficult for mucus and inflammation to thrive in your body, because these natural resources are the body's defense mechanism that the Most High gave us to help our bodies. The Most High gave these things to us since the beginning of time. And y'all know where these things came from. They all come from the soil, from the ground. The same place your bodies come from. So all of the minerals are in these things because they come from the soil. That's where the mineral is, in the soil. You begin to eliminate autoimmune disease by detoxing the system, cleaning up the bloodstream, repairing the gut, cleaning up the cells, eliminating waste and toxins from the organs. There are many cleanses available to you. And here's one of them. We have a 7-day mucus, digestive, and immune cleanse. Hang on, guys. 1 second.
Share from your website. You're trying to make money. What are you doing?
Hang on, guys. Going to share something with you guys. All right, guys, I'm going to share my screen again. While I'm talking to you guys about these cleanses, I just want to show you guys where you can go get them in case you have any questions for me regarding the stuff that I'm sharing on the screen. All right, so okay. So we're talking about the parasite cleanse, and I'm going to show you guys where you can find the parasite cleanse. If you ever choose to do a parasite cleanse, here's one. It does come in capsule. There it is. That's what I showed earlier. And that's actually for the beginners. Okay, we do have a parasite cleanse for people who are kind of used to doing parasite cleanse. Here's an advanced parasite cleanse. All right, and this one is for the OGs. Okay, this is the advanced parasite cleanse, and the one I showed earlier is for the beginners. All right, but we are on the website called Grassroot Botanicals. Grassroot Botanicals. If somebody can put that in chat, that's the website we're on. Grassroot Botanicals, and here you can find the things that I'm showing. All right, we're gonna go back to our screen here. Sorry about that, guys. Trying to get back to where I was. Pardon me for a second, guys. There we go. Here's a 7-day cleanse that you can do to help with inflammation in the body, okay? Again, I'm going to go back to the website and show you guys where you can find these things in a minute, all right? This one here is called a mucusless cleanse. This is a 21-day cleanse for that. It helps you to eliminate a lot of mucus and inflammation from the body. I'm going to show you guys where you can find that. Here again is a parasite cleanse. All right, the parasite cleanse, as I mentioned earlier, you know, a lot of people are walking around with parasites that are parasites that are causing a lot of health problem. Right? These things must be taken as a part of your lifestyle. These are lifestyle choices, right? It's not something you do once and never think of it again. It's a lifestyle, just like you get up and go to work every day because you got bills to pay, right? You get up and get your kids ready to go to school. You get up and you do things that are a part of your lifestyle. These things must be a part of your lifestyle if you're trying to stay healthy. Go out in nature, exercise, touch the grass, eat more food that grows from plants, pray more, start fasting, cleanse your gut. Don't be a stranger to herbal plants, right? Does anybody have any question before I move on? You go back to the website again and go back to, so we're on the website called Grassroot Botanicals, guys. That's the website there. And wanted to show you the liver detox here. This is a liver detox. This is needed. The Black community need this, okay? Because as I cannot stress this enough, bad liver health is a problem that leads to a lot of problem in the Black community. You need to clean up your liver. Take something for your liver. All right? We're going to go back and show you the 7-day cleanse. There we go. This is one of our most popular cleanse on this website. It's 7 days. It's called a 7-day mucus, digestive, and immune cleanse. If you have autoimmune disease, you should be doing stuff like this. That's the point. All right. And it's not even expensive. It's $43. Shipping is included. It's one of our least expensive cleanse and very effective go back. And again, I cannot stress this enough. If you don't have cancer, if you do have cancer, if you've been diagnosed with cancer, if you had cancer and they claim it's gone, it doesn't matter. You need to do a parasite cleanse at least 4 times a year, at least 4 times a year. Or at the very least, take a parasite formula. If you don't want to do the cleanse, at the very least, you need to take a formula that has parasite herbs inside of it. This is a parasite formula. You can buy the formula and take it on a regular basis. All right? This will help your body to eliminate some of that waste that you have, some of that toxins that you have sitting in the gut, causing your autoimmune diseases and triggering all of this stuff you got going on. I'm going to answer some questions because I see some questions in the chat. Somebody asked, what is good for celiac disease? Celiac disease is an autoimmune disease. It's probably what is causing your low iron. And it's exactly what we're discussing here today. I'm not sure if you just got in the room, Sister Valerie. Okay. If you did, when we're done, you can go back to the start and watch the video from the start, and where I'm explaining how you what these so-called diseases are and how you can clean up your body from it. That's what I'm showing here, is that if you have these autoimmune diseases, you need to start cleaning up your gut. You need to start doing detox, cleanse, start putting these herbal herbs, these herbal plants in your body. They help to detox the system. Start doing parasite cleanse, because a lot of these illnesses are a result of parasitic infection in the human body. Okay. And they're creating a lot of inflammation, which is triggering the immune system response. It's causing the immune system to attack itself. Your immune system is out of whack because something is in there causing havoc. And get rid of the whatever food you're eating, all of that fatty food, the fried food, the junk food, the sweet, sugary stuff that attract parasites in the body, that cause inflammation in the body. Okay? If you have low iron, you need to take a liquid iron. That's what you need to take, not a tablet. You got to stay away from those iron tablets. Go get yourself a bottle of liquid iron and take it twice a day. That will get your iron levels up. Okay. Somebody wants to know what about the lymphatic system? Let me see if we have a protocol here for the lymphatic system. Give me 1 second, sis. Here we go.
And while she's looking that up, I'm telling you guys, come to this website, Grassroot Botanicals, and go to the search, grassrootbotanicals.com. Go to the search and look these things up. Like, we can lead a horse to the water. You guys got to drink, though. A lot of you brothers and sisters have questions. It's really practically nobody else teaching you guys what she's teaching you. But at the same time, you have to meet us 25% of the way. She's giving you 75%. You have to meet us 25% of the way. We're telling you where to go. Go up and down the website and look and search for what it is that you need. Grassrootbotanicals.com.
Yeah, don't just look at the one thing that I'm showing you. There's a website here that you can take 3 minutes out of your time and scroll down and look at the stuff that we have here. How many of you guys know that we had a protocol for the breast and the lymphatic system that the sister just ask about. Let me see what her name was. Patience of the Saints. Just ask about what we have for lymphatic system. Well, we have a whole protocol here, sis. A whole entire protocol. It's called the breast and lymphatic drainage. Okay, the breast and lymphatic detox. That's what we have here. It's an entire protocol. I'm going to explain to you what it is. You'll be getting a lot of herbs that deals with lymphatic drainage, a lot of herb that supports healthy breast. Okay. A lot of herb that supports the immune system. And you'll also get a complete instruction, a dietary instruction on what you're supposed to be eating while you're doing this. It's an instruction on what you're supposed to be doing each day while you are doing this protocol. This is a protocol, all right, which means you're going to be flushing out the system. You're going to be doing a detox, and you'll be taking herbs. You'll be taking some minerals, some good minerals to put some mineral back in the system, stuff like zinc and B vitamin, B12, B6, B complex, right? You'll be taking some iron. You'll be putting back some minerals in the system. You'll be taking a lot of the herbs, and you'll be consuming a specific diet that is conducive to the protocol. Okay, so that's what you'll get. We will email you the entire protocol so you can follow it step by step. So that's what we have here for the women. This is a women protocol for the ladies, for the sisters. This is what I put together for you guys. Okay. Let's see if we have any more questions. If anybody have any more questions, put it in the chat so I can answer it before we go. It's almost, we're almost coming to the end. All right. Let me, if you don't have any more questions, let me continue. Okay. I want to touch on something that I'm going to be discussing hopefully next week, most high willing, right? This is something I'm going to touch on next week. And this is the HIV in the so-called Black community, right? I was looking at something. I'm not sure if this is correct, but they're claiming that there's 20,000 new cases of HIV, in Atlanta. So I don't know how.
Real quick. So, guys, I put the link in the chat. If somebody wants to come into the live and ask a question, you guys have a couple of minutes, and she'll allow you to come in and answer y'all, whatever questions you have if you want to come in live. All right?
All right. So this is going to be a topic hopefully next week. All right. Let me see what they're saying here.
I contracted HIV in Atlanta. 20K cases reported in the last 8 months. I'm seeing a lot of people address this.
In the last 8 months, Atlanta alone have reported 20,000 HIV cases.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I can say this, but I'm going to say it every day.
I'm sorry, guys.
You need to keep your legs closed. I don't know what the hell is going on, but sex is not one of the things that you need to be doing. It's not worth dying for. And I don't care how good the medication is now. I don't care that it is now not a automatic death sentence like that as it used to be. I don't care. Keep your legs closed. 20,000 cases in the last 8 months in Atlanta.
The way that she's...
All right. Now, I haven't looked into that yet, but this is something that I'm working on because this is This is terrible. This is terrible. I was looking at some of the statistics here, and it says Metro Atlanta faces significantly higher HIV incident compared to the national average. Okay. Metro Atlanta's HIV epidemic disproportionately impact Black/African American individual. Black residents make up 32% of the Georgia population, yet they account for over 68% of people that are living with HIV and 71% of new diagnoses in Atlanta. In Georgia, overall, Black and Hispanic/Latino population continue to experience higher infection rates. So most I willing, that's going to be next week discussion, because this is what, man, listen. Okay, all right, let's go back. Did anybody have any questions for me before I go? Somebody asked, let's see. I'm not sure what Patience of the Saint is asking. If you could elaborate. You said, how long would it be? Would I be on it? I'm low on B vitamins. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this is a 30-day protocol. Okay, when you're detoxing the system, it's not something that happened. Results is not something that happened overnight. It takes years and years and years for all of these waste and toxins to build up in the system. It's going to take you a little while to eliminate. The body is you can't force the body to do what it doesn't do naturally. Okay, so it's going to take a little while to slowly detox the stuff from your system. All right, there we go. I'm going to use myself as an example here. I have been on a juice protocol for over a month. It's not hard to do. It's not hard to do. These things are really, it's all about having discipline. Okay, and I've always say, if you have children, if you're a parent, you should be able to exercise discipline, because how can you discipline your children when you yourself don't have discipline? That's the question I've always asked people. How can you discipline your children if you yourself don't have discipline? That's a question. Am I saying that MS is curable? Well, Sister Princess Angelina, I don't usually use the word cure. I don't believe in cures. Okay. I believe that the body repair itself naturally, as long as you give it the opportunity to do so. Okay. The body will repair itself. It's just like when you get a cut. When you get a cut, if you don't clean the area, if you get it infected, you put your dirty hand on the cut and you get dirty water on it, and put dirty stuff, the cut is going to get infected, and it's just not going to get better, right? But if you get a cut and you keep it clean and you disinfect it, and you keep that clean, the skin is going to repair itself, and that cut is going to heal, right? So I believe that the body repair itself. And yes, I have a family member. So this is very personal for me, because I have somebody in my family who was diagnosed with MS, and she's doing fine now. Okay. There was a time when she couldn't even function. All right. And she's doing fine. So yes, as long as that myelin sheath is not damaged, When it damage, it's in the brain. Once if the person is mobile, person is able to walk around, then it means that it's not too far gone, and you're able to repair it. All right. Somebody wants to know, what about alopecia? Well, there's different types of alopecia. There are different types of alopecia. A lot of alopecia is dealing with hormonal imbalance. Okay. Unfortunately, in the Black community, a lot of it is it is two popular ones: the hormonal imbalance and the what we call traction alopecia. When, because of our sisters keep wearing these wigs and weaves and hairstyle that's pulling at the root of the hair, and it's pulling the hair out, and it doesn't grow back because you damage the follicles from all these hairstyle that we're wearing, and all the weaves and wigs and all that stuff. So we have to figure out what type of alopecia you're dealing with. All right.
I wanted to mention real quick, if I could, I wanted to mention, she was talking a few minutes ago about Atlanta and the high cases of HIV, according to the CDC, the Center for Disease Control. I wanted to remind the family, the CDC is located where? Where's their headquarters? In Atlanta. It's in Atlanta. So you have a hotbed for homosexuality. Excuse me. Well, I added something else, right? You have a hotbed for HIV. That's Atlanta. You have a hotbed for so-called Black homosexuality. That's in Atlanta. And the CDC is located in Atlanta.
There we go.
These things are all related. I just wanted to say that, but we're gonna leave that for the next. We'll leave that for the next one.
Oh yeah, it is sad. It is sad. All right. Does anybody else have any question before I go? You told me about the package, the protocol for my city. How long would I do it? I don't mind. Sister, I don't know if this is a sister or hopefully you're a sister. Patience of the Saints. Are you referring to the lymphatic and breast? What I just showed you, this right here.
This is the arm. I'll ask you a question up a little up.
Oh, okay. If you're referring to the lymphatic detox, I believe it's about 30 days. It's a 30-day detox. Okay. Of course, you don't have to stay on it for 30 days if you don't want to. Okay. It's a 30-day detox. There's a reason we make it that long. Okay. Because we understand how the body function and the amount of time that it's going to need to start to see result with these things. Okay. All right. Somebody else. Sister, what is that? Where? I don't see it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm looking at your questions in the chat. Okay, what is some of the junks brothers and sisters need to stay away from? Great question there, Brother Rohan. What are some of the junks brothers and sisters need to stay away from? That's a good question. I think we talked about that last week. All the fast food joints that we keep going to. Let me tell y'all something. Do you know that if Black folks in America would stop showing up at fast food restaurants, they would be completely shut down? Literally, they would be shut down. The majority of people who go to these places are our people. McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. I don't even know the name of some of them. I don't go to these places. But those are the places that our people go to, where the fried chicken. Do you know how many things they're frying in that oil? The the nasty oils that the chicken wings are being fried in, and you wonder why your gut is swollen from eating these foods. You have bloated, your stomach is bloated. Oh, the pituitary, okay. Stomach is bloated, right? So pizza, burger, hot dogs. I'm answering Brother Rohan question. Pizza, burgers, hot dogs. Let's talk about it. You go to your what do you call it? The cookout, right? That's what I'm trying to say. You go to your cookout, and it's the hot dog. Who the heck eat hot dogs anyway? But the hot dogs and the burgers, and it's the perpetual consumption of the what do you call that thing with the it's the pasta with the cheese. This mac and cheese. There you go. Mac and cheese and all of this stuff that is causing inflammation and mucus in the body. And if you have lots of parasites in there, you're feeding the parasites with these things. That's what you're doing. You're feeding the parasites. If you have anything growing in the body, did you guys know that parasites cause cancer tumors in the body? And if you have anything growing in the body like cancer tumors, or for the sisters, the fibroids, and you continue to eat these things, you continue to consume this type of diet, all you are doing is allowing these growth in the body, these tumors and fibroid, to begin to grow and get bigger and bigger and bigger. You got to change the diet, and you're gonna have to start cleansing your system on a regular basis to start shrinking whatever is growing in your body. Okay. Somebody asked a question about the hypopituitarism. Okay, so we're dealing with issues with the pituitary glands. Okay, that's a gland in the brain. All right, and that is that's a gland. That's a part of your endocrine system, sister. If I'm assuming you're a sister that's asking this, okay? And this type of issue also contributes to, infertility and stuff like that, all right? It's when the pituitary gland is underactive, okay? And that's also dealing with what the discussion that we're having right now. Let me tell you something. Every single sickness in the human body, we don't even care what it is at this point. Every single one of them, we need to clean up the health. We need to start cleansing and detoxing and get rid of the bad diet. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what fancy words they come up with in the medical system. Hyperpituitarism, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. It requires the same thing. Clean up your diet, start cleansing the system, detoxing the system, putting some natural herbs in the body. That's it. Don't let them confuse you with all these fancy medical terminologies. That's all it is. It's fancy medical terminologies. It's different illnesses that are affecting different parts of the human body, and it all comes down to the same thing. You need to clean up your lifestyle, clean up your body, get rid of the nasty foods you're eating. There's choices, I understand that we don't have a lot of good choices in this country. I understand that, right? I get it. But the Most High never leave us backed into a corner with no escape. Y'all know that. You're in the truth. You should know that. The Most High never leave us backed into a corner with no escape. There's always a way out. No matter how bad our situation, there is a choice. We always have choices. And you don't have to be making the choices you're making. Nobody is forcing you to go to fast food restaurants. Nobody is forcing you not to cook fresh, healthy foods at home. Nobody is forcing you not to get some exercise as long as you have 2 healthy legs and arms, right? And you're able to go out and walk and go jogging or go to the gym. No one is forcing you to go buy the packaged foods and feeding it to your kids. These are choices that we are making that we don't have to, because the Most High have given us choices no matter how bad our conditions are. There's always a choice. I don't have a protocol for Parkinson's disease, Sister Shemayim. I do not, unfortunately. I'm working on that, but I don't at the moment. All right, so I hope I was able to answer the sister hyperpituitarism. That's just dealing with the pituitary gland, sis, and it all comes down to the your endocrine system and your reproductive system, because all of those glands, all of those glands are dealing with the endocrine system and the reproductive system. All right, so you got to clean up your system, clean it up, get rid of the dairy, get rid of the sweet sugary processed stuff. All right, so where was I? I'm gonna we're almost out of here, so I'm gonna share the places. I know a lot of people have a lot of questions, and I'm gonna share where you can go again, guys, to get some of the stuff that I've been talking about. If you so choose to do a cleanse and start cleaning up your gut, and I'm talking to the brothers too, brothers, I hope you brothers are listening, because y'all need to cleanse. Brothers can do these cleanse too. Here's a cleanse that brothers can do. This is one of the easiest cleanse for a brother right here. This right here, the 7-day mucus, digestive, and immune cleanse. And I'm going to explain this cleanse to you because you're going to hear the word 7-day and you're going to get scared. This cleanse start off with a flush of the gut. You're going to be flushing your gut, which is very needed if you have a lot of waste and toxins sitting in your gut. And the rest of the next 6 days after that, you're simply going to be following a healthy diet. You see how easy that was? That was very easy, wasn't it? It wasn't too hard. All you're doing is flushing your gut, cleaning up your intestines, releasing some of that waste that you have sitting. I always tell this story, guys, and I'm going to say it again. What's his name? Elvis Presley. Did you guys know when Elvis Presley passed away? He passed away from digestive illness. He was suffering from severe constipation. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe he was found dead sitting on his toilet, because when he went to the defecate on his toilet, he was straining so hard to go to the bathroom that he had a heart attack on his toilet. Not how he died, right? Well, when they cut him open, they found over 40 pounds of hard up waste, poop in his intestines, over 40 pounds, hard like a rock, because he was having issues with constipation. Now, I'm not saying you brothers are, having that type of issue, but what I'm saying is prevention is better than a cure, is all I'm saying. This is called maintenance of the body. You don't have to wait until something severe like that happens to you, in order to do stuff like this, okay, you need to do a cleanse every now and then, brother, because these type of cleanses was going to help you to have healthy prostate, so you don't have issues in the prostate like prostatitis. Your prostate is swollen, where you're getting up all hours of the day and night going to the bathroom. Okay, one of the major cause of prostate problem is problem where? In the bowel. In the bowel. Yes, in the bowel. There you go. All right. So brothers and sisters, this is one of the easiest cleanse that we have on our website here. The 7-day mucus digestive and immune cleanse. Everybody and their mama should be doing this, especially if you're watching and you have issues with mucus and inflammation. All right. There we go. What's the other one? Where's the other one? Looking for the parasite cleanse. Let's search for it together. Let's search for it together. Let us search for it together. There we go. Here it is. This is the parasite cleanse for beginners. This is the easy one. For those of you who are too chicken to do the hard one, this is the easy one, okay? There we go. All right. And again, the website is grassrootbotanicals.com. That's the name of the website, grassrootbotanicals. All right. And if anybody have any questions that they want to ask me, that you may have something that you're dealing with and you don't want to ask in the chat or blah, 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 our number here is right here on the website. Right at the top of the website, here's a number, 570-540-3795. That's the number to reach me. Do not call me at 12 o'clock at night. I will not respond, okay? There you go. But if you have any questions about, what we discuss here, and you may not feel comfortable asking in the chat, you can call that number. It is right here on this website, right there at the top. The website is Grassroot Botanicals, and the number is right there at the top. All right. There you go. All right. I hope I was able to answer some question that somebody might have. All right. And I think we have come to the end of our health class today. I hope I was, able to at least help one person who's watching. And, listen, before you go, guys, please share this live with somebody. Please share it on your social media. And again, come to the website here. Hopefully somebody is able. Let me put it in the chat. Let me put this link in the chat. There we go. Right. And there we go. Put the name of the website in the chat. If you're watching on Maccabees TV, it's right there in the chat. And the name of the website is Grassroot Botanicals. And if you have any questions about any of the cleanse or products that I mentioned here today, these are solutions that I'm offering people. I'm offering you guys a solution for some of the issues that you're dealing with, guys. Okay. That's what I'm trying to do. I am offering solutions. All right. Okay. All right, guys. It was nice meeting you guys today. Hopefully you'll come back here next week. Most I willing. I'm sorry, I'm reading your comments here. All right, guys. Hopefully my husband is going to end the live pretty soon. because I don't see any more questions. Thank you so much. Thank you again. Oh, you're welcome, Sister Valerie. Thank you guys for watching.